Hey all, Al back again. I'm just going to do another test, this time in Melbourne. We're going to do a base test of bog standard Microsoft Flight Sim install. Nothing updated, just clean install. I'm going to take off Essendon, do a flight around the city, back to Essendon again. Then what we'll do is we'll install the update for Melbourne and Essendon and do the same flight again and see does it make any difference in frames per second. Okay, so let's just start off here in Essendon. Again, we're back at nearly 60 frames per second. So at the moment, this is the standard Essendon airport. Starting up, let's just do a quick drone flight around it. So I haven't installed the Orbix add-on yet. This is the standard Microsoft Essendon airport. So just flying around this, we're getting 56 frames per second. You can see Melbourne in the background there, CBD. We're just here where normally this is the place for the air ambulance and the police wing, Victoria Police. Jump back in the helicopter again. It's funny how this is slightly less frames per second than New York City, which is a bit odd because this has got less buildings and things here. So you would have thought that this should be, if anything, more frames per second. Okay, let's jump in here, have a look, try and lift off here. We're up. It'll be interesting to see as we go into the CBD. We might head out towards Melbourne International, Tullamarine. Take a left in over the race course, maybe in that way. Let's get some height in here. Just head off towards Tullamarine Airport. So yeah, we're getting a lower frames per second here than we are in New York City, which makes no sense to me. Take a left down here. So we're getting 56. As we head in towards the city, towards the main part. 52, it's weird that we're dropping down, that we're not constantly 60 like we were in New York. Whether New York in the base game is just optimized better. Now we're up to 60. Okay, so we're might do is just fly down to the Westgate Bridge. Maybe just do a fly over the Westgate and come back up the Yarra into the city that way and see. I've hit the 60 frames per second. Again, we're on the same settings we're on in New York. Ultra, everything is ultra on us. Getting nice graphics on the ground there. Getting all the buildings in the streets. It'll be interesting to see when I do add in the Melbourne update, the Orbix one and the Essendon one, and also install the Australian update to see whether that'll affect the frames per second or whether it'll just stay the same. I did see a few things online, people going on, I've got a 4080 and I'm getting 60 frames per second. That to me is a bit surprising, because I would have thought if you got a 4090, new 4090 that's costing so many thousands, that you should possibly be getting double the frames per sec what I'm getting on my 3080. So we're coming down here to Melbourne Port. Okay, as you can see, because possibly I don't have the Australian update installed, that's possibly why you're gonna see a lot of features are missing. Take a left here and we'll go up, fly up the Yarra, up past the convention centre. So, with the standard install, I'm not sure what that was. I can see that the Westgate is missing. Just got a standard small little bridge. That is not the Westgate bridge. Again, that's because I don't have anything else installed, only the base game. Let me just zoom it back a bit here. So even with the base game, it's looking pretty nice with these settings. All the buildings look like buildings, not burnt out shells from World War II. We're getting traffic on the roads. You'll have to excuse me because I'm used to not seeing half of this stuff. Even with the 3080, I couldn't dial up any of the settings. Did you? Pretty good that the base game gives you pretty good idea of Melbourne. Flying up the Yarra. Bridges are looking nice. Looking like normal bridges. We'll be coming up past the convention centre. And on past Crown Casino on the right. Okay. Line up past Flinders Street Station. one down here. Out over the tennis, when Tennis Australia's held every year. Out over the flat MCG, Melbourne Cricket Ground. Frames per second are dropping here. Head back towards Essendon. Still getting 60 average in the 50s. Everything's looking nice, clean and crisp on the ground. Helicopter is really good. No hang-ups or stutters or shakes or anything. Looks beautiful when it looks good. Only thing is, can I find Essendon Airport on a visual? It's constant 60 again. Drops a little bit, but you're not gonna notice it. Really, again, do you need more than 60 frames per second? I don't think you do. Need more. 60 frames per second I think is quite enough for anywhere. 50 is enough. Hell, I think 40 would be enough. I mean, you can see the graphics is fine. Well, I know a lot of people out there running older CPUs, i5s, i7s of 8th, 9th gen, and older GPUs. I'm lucky that I was able to buy a 3080. I don't think anybody that's running an older CPU should go out and buy a newer 4090 to improve things. I think they should spend their money on upgrading to a 13th gen i5 or i7 if possible. Because it has really unlocked how good this sim can be, for me anyways. Okay, I'm not sure what I think I was under okay, I do this all the time. I underpower the helicopter and I nearly take us out of the sky. I am still getting used to flying a helicopter, as you can see. So we'll try and get in here. But yeah, that's the baseline test. As I make a total aims of this landing, I'm gonna have to go back to helicopter school. Yep. I'm not sure what. Boost. Anyway, we might leave it there. It's gonna take me forever to land this. I'm good at taking off, not so good at landing. But from what I can see, 60 frames per second is good for Melbourne as well as New York. Let's just put it down. Oh, it's gonna be hard landing. Get out of the way so I can land the helicopter. would be nice. So I would. Okay, let's just put it down here. But yeah. Okay, not the best landing. But yeah, 60. I can see up there 50, 55 at the minute. For some reason, Essendon is hard on frames per second. This is without the install of the update. Essendon always seems to be a hard airport on frames. For now, yeah, it's looking pretty good in Melbourne. Frames are up nice and high in the 50s. So what I'll do is I'll install the Australia update. Maybe do a flight with that. And then install the Melbourne, Orbix Melbourne and Orbix Essendon and see whether that has any effect on frames per second. Anyway, for now, that's enough, I think. We'll talk to you later.